I'm pretty much on the line.
No clue.
Isn't he running uncontested?
Chuck's running against Howie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I doubt it's uncontested. Against who? Howie, the current chair. Oh. Yeah. He's got stick with the situation. I was just saying, I've never seen campaigning.
We're our own archives.
Ladders? What?
What are you doing on the other side?
I'm tracing it on that.
Talus, skirt, vest, talus vest.
Nice.
Scrunchies.
Wow.
Earth Science Project.
And do not release the handshake until you know the person's name. Because that's good for you to get to know who the person is, just that way you know who they are. That starts the conversation. It also gives a little bit more personal contact because people are social beings. They like the whole social aspect. They like personal contact. Be friendly. So, hi, I'm Dave. Hi, Mandy. Nice to meet you. So where are you from? What do you do?
Child development administrator.
Really?
And help children form better connections with their families, help families who are in crisis.
something which I was trying to do, but I kind of failed miserably because I knew nothing of what she's going into. You want to try to start to talk about what the other person is interested in. Try to avoid talking about yourself. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. Everyone. It's a little bit of human nature. So really, if you make the person feel comfortable and let them talk about what they want to talk about their interests, what interests them, they feel more welcome. It's another tactic.
Yeah, I've been together. It feels like on the first side.
I don't like being close.
So we're like having an art show.
Look, high five.
Documents and chapters use and find useful. So there are 10 of us throughout the country. And right now I'm in the process of collecting documents on any topic that has to deal with a chapter. They're going to be reviewed. Some of them will be sanitized, if will be like rush posters you don't. You take off the chapters and you put your stuff in. So eventually, this time next year, after convention, each chapter will be issued a CD that will have templates, standards, things that are actually used by, developed by students for students. Because I do recognize that some of the stuff that actually puts out.
Just like we were saying before, the higher up you get the chapter level, the more generic it needs to be. So I imagine we'll push it down. But
Just wait. I just want to make sure everyone has a copy of the evaluation form. If I didn't give it to you, you don't have one. This is something different.
what do I do?
Comment with that.
Sure.
Is this like stuff that's already on the web page, or are you going to be also putting stuff on the web page such that if we want, we can also get it from there?
Here's the game plan right now. The web page is a public document for anybody.
Yes.
So anything that's on that website needs to be approved either by the national board or by the national convention itself. So, yes, most of the documentation that is up there will be put onto the CD. Actually, we're going to pare down the website. We don't need to put on CD 50 years worth of TNT. We don't need all the web development stuff that happens to be on the website. So it's going to be pared down to stuff that's going to be used specifically by staff and chapters. And then we're going to augment that by these other documents that we're collecting. They really haven't been through national review. Okay? So the CD is going to be sort of an internal electronic document. Okay?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that, for example, Greg sent me a thing on how to, a 12-step thing on how to plan a sectional conference. That's his opinion. Maybe Jody from Cornell is going to send me a 10-step thing on how to plan a service project. Unfortunately, we have 370 some odd chapters active. I'm going to probably say not 2 of them are identically the same. The bylaws are different, the memberships are different, the location is different. So I'm not going to say every tool we put on is going to be perfect for every chapter. But if I give you 5 copies of sample pledge programs or pledge rush posters, maybe I'm going to give you a new idea to try.
It's the same concept behind the conference. The most useful education you're going to get at this conference is probably not going to be listening to us or just being to the sale. Nor will it be listening to any of the other workshops. It's going to be from talking to each other and sharing ideas across chapters. Because Alpha Omega is a little different everywhere you go. It's a fantastically adaptable thing. And it adapts to all the different campuses that it's on. but you have people essentially trying to accomplish the same thing with some similarity of circumstances and some differences. And so you're going to have people who found different ways of doing it. There's no challenge you're going to face in the chapter that hasn't been faced by someone somewhere.
If you had a yellow M&M or had a yellow M&M at any point in time, please stand up.
Oh, no, man, you're dirty.
For every yellow M&M you have or did have, it represents an STD. 1 out of 6 youngsters will contract an STD. If you have or had a green M&M, please stand up. Green. This represents injection drug use. 1 out of 20 will inject drugs. This includes steroids. Orange. If you have or had orange at any point, everyone who is standing right now is pregnant. Or was responsible for a pregnancy. One out of 8 teenagers will be pregnant or be responsible for a pregnancy.
You paused specifically for that.
Said you were responsible for our pregnant person.
Just want to hear that.
I didn't need to be. 800 high school girls become pregnant in the U.S. every day. So, it's like every single day, 800. Like 5,600 a week. If you had blue or have blue right now, stand up. Blue represents alcoholism. On a consistent basis, not just occasionally. Alcohol increases the chance of risky behaviors. 99% of it takes place at sexual encounters. Okay, and this refers to chronic alcoholism and binge drinking. Binge drinking is, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 or more drinks for a male, or 3 or more drinks for a female within a night. Okay, if you have red M&Ms or had brown M&Ms or touch the brown M&M today, please stand up. Okay, brown M&Ms represent good decisions. Even though you made good decisions at one point, remember a lot of you were exposed to HIV, you did have AIDS, you did have STDs, you're alcoholics, and you got people pregnant and don't forget the drugs. So each brown M&M does represent one decision. Andy? Did you say for one? The type of rape women are less likely or more reluctant to report. Andy. Oh, sorry? Yeah. What is date rape? Nice job. Most women are very.
Many chapters exhibit personality or problems within the chapter that just deal with maybe one particular problem brothers. A control chapter is going to nip that in the bud, so to speak. Once that problem is created, the president or an appropriate other officer is going to go in and is going to talk to that problem brother, so to speak, and try to work out the situation. Also, the control chapter, the control organization, also displays a need that the people in control, or the people who want to get in control,
display a need for personal power. And that's all you know is in chapters, when elections come around, that comes out. Personal power, everybody trying to get to the top. So that's definitely a characteristic of the control motive of an organization. I'm not saying that, of course, it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that you have the people in there who are wanting to take, get into the reins of that power. And a strong chapter is going to have people and brothers who want to be that control chapter because of their influence and because of their desire to help the chapter. So this one's seen a lot of election. Extension, the fifth motive. This one here is concern for others. Sort of like the expert influence, where you had concern for other people in the community. The difference here is that the executive board is interested in improving the goals of the general membership. Basically, the executive board functions as a conduit for the goals and ideas of the Brotherhood, instead of coming and establishing their own goals for the Brotherhood to carry forth. This is the Brotherhood establishing the goals for the executive board to carry forth. And we see that a lot, once again, it's the flip side of the CPPC, where, like I said, the executive board doesn't come in and say, these are my goals as president or as membership vice president. These are my goals for improving my position. An extension motive is going to say, well, I certainly have opinions, but my goals are not what's relevant. It's really what your goals are. What are your goals? The goals of the chapter. And that's an extension personality. And finally, the sixth personality is dependency. This one is characterized by desire,
implying even the brothers that are going to be there. And Lily's saying, because we want this to be a ceremonial event, that, guys, wear, a shirt and tie, don't need to wear the tuxedo, but dress nicely, girls, come in something nice, a nice pantsuit or a skirt or something like that. Because again, and I think this is the whole lesson that I want, you to walk away with anything, is when you're doing the ceremony, really think about the neophytes and their feelings and how we want to make this as great for them as possible. And seeing people in jeans and shorts is immediately going to, detract from the possibility of this being a wonderful event.
Yeah, how common, just out of curiosity, how common are the robes and the sashes? Because our chapter has never used them before. We just dress nice, guys, shirt and tie, women dress as well.
In '89, there were 2 chapters that used them. But as far as the robes go, they're old graduation gowns. They're really easy to come by. Probably they're shoved in the back of your closet from high school. So if you have, if you can find anybody to donate them, ask alumni. They may have them from college graduation, and it does make it just a little nicer and a little neater.
One thing to keep in mind that most colleges use black graduation robes. Robin to sell graduation robes, and make it white new graduation. And when our students have folks who want to get robes, we sat down and especially ordered like 7 or 10 brand new, or 9 brand new graduation robes in various sizes.
Yeah. And if you get new ones, the sash is nice. I've also seen it done with the clasp sewn on the robe, which works well. That way, if you have that person who doesn't have shoulders and the sash keeps falling off, you don't have to worry about that. Make sure you do have your service pins to hand out, and make sure your service pins work. There's no guarantee the ones from National sends you are actually going to have a back that comes off and the pin part doesn't come off with the bag. Because quite often, when they're shipped, they get damaged, so you do want to check that. And also make sure you get the pledge pins back. You know, figure out who's going to do that collection thing, so it's not something that needs to be taken care of. That
Do any of you guys have problems with getting pledge pins back? Pretty good.
We're not going to lie. Fine has an issue with pledge pins.
Right, well, I was just going to tell them about what we try to do at least.
No, just let them
Yeah.
lose them so we don't have to give them their money back.
But what we've done, and none of you really had a problem, but we've started adding a $4 charge to their pledge fee, and it's basically a deposit. They return their pin, they get the $4 back. If not, we have that $4 to use to buy new pledge pins. And that's an idea, and most of you guys look like you're okay with getting it back.
In our chapter, like us in our chapter, we sort of tell the pledges to buy their pin and like give it to their big brother as a present at the end of the semester. So I have like, I have my little speech.
she's trying to be.
I am trying to do what we need to do. Okay, we're going to play a game, and this game is called Ice Holes and Polar Bears.
Ice holes?
Ice holes.
Dice?
What is
And
it?
polar bears.
Like where?
Okay.
Bourbon knows all about it.
What?
Okay.
It's like holes in ice.
Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to take turns, throw you dice, okay, and then we're going to go over 3 components. How many ice holes there are, how many polar bears there are, and how many of the polar bears, the aforementioned polar bears, are hungry.
What would you do for a project?
Okay? So I'm going to go first. Okay, and you're all going to have to squint your little eyes, because unfortunately I am, if all of you, I will put this in your care. If you guys happen to find in your travels those like obnoxious 75 like fuzzy dice, that's what I want. Oh, you do? Well, then next time bring that, because it's nice to have bigger dice.
ones in my car.
Angela, I found some ones that I thought I was going to use, and it turned out that they were, I wasn't going to say it that way, but yes, they were inappropriate. I wasn't going to bring it. I found them at Old Navy or something. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so, you ready? Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Okay, so what does it say?
8.
4 and a 4. Okay, how many polar bears are there?
4.
There are 8. How many ice holes are there?
4.
None. 0. How many polar bears are hungry? 8. That's right. Oh! Okay. Rich, did you get the dice?
Does anyone else not know what this is?
I don't know. I only know.
That's the point of this exercise.
Oh,
This is like one up, one down, one of those like blue.
This is a
You have to figure out the three
Yeah, you
components.
never played this.
Okay, Rich.
Alright. That was mine. Nice. Cool. Yeah, you do game.
Okay, we have 3 and a 6. 9. That's very good. Okay.
Yeah.
How many ice holes are there?
6.
3.
Nope.
1.
1. How many polar bears are there?
9.
No, 8.
8. That's right. 8.
So I think that's one of the cool things is that we get to actually like have some say in who we have in the bank. Then we told some chapters that it's just like on just pick them for you.
We did too, but most of the pledges don't know any brothers. They really they don't have names or answers, but they really don't know them.
I had a different experience. I knew all of them before I went in.
I got one of my best friends is my big, and I can't ever get rid of her.
Hey.
I heard you there.
Hey.
And we live in the same dorm too.
Well, most of the chapter was
Yeah, most of the, we have 6 pledges and it's called active brothers, and at least 12 of us live in the same dorm.
We're just part of the same floor.
Yeah, the same dorm.
Or at least a good board.
Yeah, I think we said we like filled out something saying what we wanted as a big.
These humongous folders full of stuff, and to find what we want to fish through, it's kind of a pain in the neck. What do you actually keep from all this stuff that you do? What do you actually save? What's the sort of information?
Save
Service report form. What should be in service report form? Mark? Improvements that we made. Warnings for future people. How about hours? How important are hours to people? Are they really important? Are they not too important? Depends who you talk to. But in general, you probably want to keep hours as a record keeping and not overdo it. If all you're talking about ever is hours, how many hours you have, and you have this many hours, that's the most important thing in the world, that's not always good. Right. It's mostly hours for record keeping and maybe recognition in the semester, but it shouldn't be like your constant guide for everything. It's just not good. That's true. Some chapters have that kind of thing, but in general, the amount of effort you put in a project and what you do and how happy they are with what you do isn't going to be measured anyway by a number, and it won't matter.
Out of curiosity, you would know the introductions, the pledge master gave me a call and said, well, this is overdue. Joyce Carmen, she talked me into it over the phone. So my service project there, it was our pledge service project, which was a failure, was supposed to be a fire safety presentation for the Boy Scouts, which we didn't have any Boy Scouts show up. So
I didn't see with a fire or something.
No, so this was like a decision we decided to make it to do it for the brothers. So it's kind of fun. The fire department guy had the truck there, and he had me get all dressed up in the full outfit and oxygen tank and everything. Weighed like 50 million pounds, but wasted about a quarter tank of his oxygen tank. But it was fun.
I'm really the wrong person.
Conferences, and I'll tell you this much: when you got people that positive attitudes infectious, you can take a person who is the toughest nut to crack, whom will never pledge. I hate Greek letters. I don't want to see an A-Bio near me ever. And within 20 minutes, if it's a positive, friendly organization, it won't matter what's on your chest. They're not going to notice it. They really won't. And that's one of the great things about Old and New Blood, is that if it's got good flow, everyone gets into it. But if it doesn't have good flow, then the only people enjoying it are the people who thought of the ideas. And that's one thing. How many of you are currently holding office of any kind?
Staff.
No, chapter office.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what the hell are they doing here? Okay. I'm just kidding. All right, what office do you hold? Secretary? VP, President? Corsic? Right side Corsic.
VP fellowship.
VP fellowship especially. But for every project you might do, or at least at the beginning of the year, how many of you send out surveys? Surveys? Surveys is good. Try to get something generated where everyone feels they can own a part of it, they can be a part of it, and the most successful fellowships you'll ever have is when people from Old and New Blood agree on the fellowship. And that, by the way, goes to the service project as well. And I see a prayer, some supplication to the Lord above there. Any reason for praying, or do we have a big one upcoming?
No, it's so true. Some of our biggest fellowships have brought Old and New Blood together. We had a big little dinner at a restaurant. I swear it was literally the whole chapter plus over half the pledge class.
By the way, dinners are great. Food is great. Great deal. We're all hungry. We know it. I mean, one of the biggest draws to come here is always the food. Hi, Patty. I always say hi to everyone on my...
Yeah. Morbid thing to be videotaping, right, Dan? Okay? So if you have somebody who doesn't speak in public particularly well, they're an officer and they need to get up and present a report every week, and you can't hear a damn thing that they say because they really don't want to stand up too high and they really don't want to say too much or be too loud. Remember how you felt the first time you did that. Probably had to change your underwear. okay? So, and I'm not sure what else I can say about adapting to other people's communication style. It's an important thing to learn. It's not something that we're born with. It's good if you're cognizant of the way that other people communicate. I think that's one reason why it's important to get to know your brothers, because as you get to know your brothers, you'll know how to communicate, and you'll be able to hopefully, at the very least, recognize that. And doing what you need to do to better communicate with people whose styles are different from your own is something that comes with time. Okay. We talked a lot about communicating inside the chapter. A lot of this spills over into communicating outside the chapter. I think that there isn't a chapter in this country, and I don't think, and I think the national fraternity is not immune from this either. I think we can all communicate better with the outside world. Okay? Because how many of you have gone home on spring break and said, I've joined the fraternity, I've joined Alpha Phi Omega, and the response you got was, what the hell is that? I've never heard of them. That shouldn't happen. Okay? Nationally, we need to do a better job of communicating to the outside world who we are, what we do, why we're here, what we, and why we should be on every college campus in the country. As chapters, you should have somebody who deals with external communication or external relations. Some chapters have limited that and have inter-chapter reps. I'm not sure if we have that up here. That's something that is more frequent in Pennsylvania. But there should be somebody in your chapter whose responsibility is to be external relations, to communicate to the school paper, to the local paper, what things that you are doing that the campus should take note of. Yeah, we don't want to talk a lot about ourselves. We don't want to feel like we're bragging. But in some ways, we need to publicize the good things that we are doing. We need to show that we're an important part of the campuses that we're on. And to have those contacts at the school papers, the community papers, the local television station. Those are important, so that the school sees, so that the school sees the value that we are on the campus, so that the students that are not part of your organization want to become part of APO. And so that we can have a greater impact. So that people come to us and tell us, we want to be a part of it. Whether it be other organizations that need us to do good things with them, or other people who want to become part of Alpha Phi Omega, who want to become brothers. We need to do that for that purpose.
screws?
No!
Are we easy lays? Chapter.
F-O.
Easy fuck.
Excuse them, they're just sponges. Wait, we're not done yet. Technical
What's up, Gallagher?
We're going to be familiar with what we're about to do. For those of you who went to regionals, it's a little bit different. We've got a little different group here, but for those of you who don't know, this title has a comma in it, and that's pretty relevant to the song. So, all right, so. I'd love to help. I want you to help too when I'm feeling down. APO makes the sky blue. I pick up trash. I read to the children. I put up tents. I work outside or in. I don't want to do anything else. When I think of gamma, I service myself. Someone needs my help, I come running, even when the sun don't shine. I've got my leadership, my friendship and service, and I'm feeling fine. I love to help, I want you to help too when I'm feeling down. Maybe you're the sky, I'm track. I reach to the children, I get up there, I work outside of it.
Well, we had so many fabulous choices to choose from for our roll call, but we couldn't decide, so here's a Mo medley. Who's Mo with it anyway?
We are the Knights who say Mo.
Mo lifts us up where we belong. 6 Mo, 7 Mo, 8 Mo, play!
Everyone, we're fine.
Three songs for you.
Nothing you can say can tear me away from my fight, my fight. Nothing you can do but love breathes into in my fight, my fight. I'm sticking to my fight like a stamp to a letter, like birds of a feather we surf together. I can't be torn apart from my fight. Done.
I'm happy on a cloudy day with my brothers here. We go out and play. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My five, talking about my five, friendship.
They say we're young and we don't know. Chapter lasts an hour or so.
I don't know if that's too long. We'll hope you will still go for our song. I got you by. I got you by. I got you by.
Epsilon Gamma from Alfred, followed by Psi Rho from SUNY Oneonta.
We're EG. For those of you that were at SLED, this may sound a little familiar. It was written by a couple of our brothers and a few other brothers.
A few pledges, yeah.
Yeah, at SLED, they gave us the challenge of making our own version of the Toast song, and so we're thinking, okay, it's founded in December 16th, it's around Christmas time, so why not do a little Christmas theme to it? So, here it is. Deck the halls in gold and blue, Alpha Phi Omega, here's to you. 14 Boy Scouts in the college, Frank and Herbert Horton use their knowledge. Pledge we now are brand new brothers, so we all may serve each other. Raise the glass and toast a chapter, Epsilon Gamma ever after.
Psi Rho from SUNY Oneonta, followed by Epsilon Nu from SUNY Oswego.
Now you've got the drink.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome all of you here, those of you in attendance, and all those in probably Timber's living room right now watching this on his video. Tonight is a very special night. Besides it being sectionals, we're all here together with our brothers, which is always special. We also have something else here. Tonight we have brought together 6 of the most interesting and the most... It's hard to describe these women, but they do share one quality. They are all geeks. And tonight, we are going to the first annual Miss Geek 2002. So first, we're going to bring them all out individually with their respective escorts and ask each a question. Then we're going to find out who shall win. So I'd like to introduce first, me accompanied by Dave, Miss APO geek. Next up, being accompanied by Dave, we have herself, Miss America. Next, to be escorted by Tim, we have Miss Science. I don't want to comment, but that's the people there. Next, to be accompanied by Shannon, Miss Safety. And last, oh, sorry. Next up, we have being accompanied by Schulman, Miss Broadway. And last but not least, to make the final of the six, being accompanied by the one, the only Spree, Miss History. Now, the contest gets very simple. I'm going to ask one question, and one question only, to each of the respective six candidates here. I think I'm going to start with Miss History. Now, Miss History, if you were elected Miss Geek 2002 tonight, what would you do to change Alpha Phi Omega for the better?
If I were selecting Miss Geek 2002, I'd make everybody memorize the Declaration of Independence.
Miss Broadway, same question.
If I was elected Miss Geek 2002, I would make everybody memorize the Phantom of the Opera and sing it on the street. Woo!
Miss America, how about you?
If I were elected Miss Geek, I would make gravity illegal so no one would have to pay for a facelift.
Miss APO, how about you?
If I was voted, I had the national office number programmed into everybody's cell phone.
Miss Science.
If I were voted Miss Geek 2002, I'd make sure everyone had a Palm Pilot so they could use it with a GPS track and use it much more better to do geological surveys.
Last but certainly not least, Miss Safety.
If I were voted Miss APO, what conference am I running for this week? This week is, oh yeah, Miss Geek, yeah. Miss Geek 2002. Shut up, you were there last week. Miss Geek 2002, let's see, oh wait, this is long.
We're only an hour show here.
Wait, I just dyed my hair brunette. Hold on.
Well, Miss Safety is...
Oh yeah, safety. I'd make sure that everyone carries a first aid kit because safety is important, and everyone strapped to their backs. First aid kit strapped to your back, and wear rubber gloves wherever you go because safety is important.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to gather all of our respective men, in which they will decide who they think should be Miss Geek 2002. So where you go from? Our judges have made their decision, and it is my honor to crown as the first ever Miss Geek 2002, Miss APO herself, Jess.
dance all day long. I have dance from 5 to 10. Why, what's up?
Want to go to sectionals?
Dude, it's midnight. What do you mean, do I want to go to sectionals?
So?
Well, it is the weekend. I ain't got nothing better to do. Sure, why not? Let's go to sectionals. But there's one problem.
What?
There's that little thing known as roll call. We got to get up there and do something cute and funny and... What we gonna do?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've been to these things many times before. I even hosted one of them. So here's what we'll do. We'll just sit down, have dinner, and figure it out then.
Sounds good to me.
That works.
Sigma, City Buffalo, followed by Alpha Delta Theta, City Albany.
I'm going to be with you.
Okay, back when we were refounded some 13 years ago, Fredonia hosted a conference. So we're going to do a roll call in tribute to the original roll call we did back when we were first here. We've added an extra verse for today, but...
Where's your pump?
We left them upstairs.
It started one September when our president had gone to a party in Fredonia where he drank a bit too long. Don't know what he was on, but we'll go serving on. Mighty Alpha Phi Omega, mighty Alpha Phi Omega. We have a few Fredonia just to sing the silly song, and we'll go serving on. Oh yeah! So we come back to Fredonia to have some fun. We go
Nice to know that your chapter keeps records that long.
I'm the historian! Excuse me!
Alpha Delta Theta, SUNY Albany. Followed by Iota Omega, SUNY Rockport.
Wait a minute.
We are the ladies of Alpha Delta Eta. The rest of our chapter decided to stay home. But we brought our respective engineers from their chapters. They brought us engagement rings. We have geeks.
So, Dan.
Geek thing going on this weekend.
They got beaks. All right, Iota Omega, SUNY Rockport, followed by Psi Zeta, RIT.
Wait, he is Isaiah.
Appears to be a joint venture between Iota Omega and Psi Zeta.
Yeah. Can we get a mic? We don't need a mic.
Well, I'd just like to say, if it hadn't been for the signage, our pony would have been unable to guide us here today. So, thank you.
And this is our tribute. We donated to the economy of Fredonia today. one
Okay,
here.
how about, oh, you have one for yourself? Okay. Alphabet is Xi, soon to get a seal, followed by alphabet Chi, soon to Flensburg.
Actually moving along quite well, I think.
Good guy.
Get this party started on a Saturday night. You'll be getting freaky on the dance floor tonight. Sending out the message to all of our bros. If you stay till later, we'll give Kate High a show. Meet us at Sunny's at
Yeah, but those still stick to the floor at Sunny's.
Okay, I think the last chapter that we have, with the exception of the host chapter, is alphabet Chi, SUNY Plattsburgh. Don't think we have any other chapters. They're here.
Wait, hi guys. Like you said, we're Alpha Beta Chi from SUNY Plattsburgh, and today we want to do a roll call and just tell you a little bit about our conference. You all know where conference is next semester. You're all going to be there. Bring all your friends and everyone in your chapter, right?
Oh, yeah!
It's October 18th through 20th. We're about 40 minutes south of Plattsburgh. We're going to have, we're going to have a barbecue. We're going to have workshops. We're going to have a ropes course that you can do. You're going to get to sleep in the outdoors. You're going to have s'mores and hot chocolate over a real fire. We're going to bring lots and lots of Boy Scouts. We're going to go back to scouting like we told you in Oneonta. But today what we wanted to do, we wanted to get you even more sites than we know you already are. We want to bring a little bit of the outdoors to you. So Mike Cashman, he's our Vice President of Service. I left him a message. He wasn't in the room when I went there. I asked him, left him a message, told him to bring a bear along with him. But he's not here yet. So you want to see if he's outside?
side, Kent State.
Echelon side, Kent State.
Get over there, Dave.
Okay. Well. Thanks for putting me on the spot, guys. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, well.
Who's on your tie?
Bogey. Humphrey Bogart. Yeah. Okay, well, I come from the side chapter at Kent State University. We're really close to Cleveland, home of the Cleveland Browns, and, you know, yeah, exactly. You know, and it's taken a little while, but I finally figured out the difference between the Cleveland Browns and Al-Qaeda. The Al-Qaeda have a running game.
This just in. I'm told that the Section 88 staff has a roll call break. Oh, baby.
Probably use my phone up there.
There's a microphone up there.
No projection.
I wrote a roll call list. It's pretty fast. I think I have to sing it. I need a microphone. Here we go. Spree is the makings of a modern major section chair, but every brother chapter project event he always gives you care. The time for any chapter and needs he is willing to share, but with the step he has come but ready to start pulling his hair. There's Ed Pollock on service and all the projects really go far. Rich Velo on fellowship and tons of crap stashed in his car. Tom Johnson's our webmaster with a homepage that's way above par. And Christine LeBron as treasurer stretches section dollars far. There's Kiki as vice chair vice, which is always twice as nice. Fuzzy as our rep, and of course like who types newsletters of his own device. His lovely fiancée Christine is easy rep and commutes up to RPI. And Cindy Corbett keeps ADH and Albany acting innocent and nice. Not! Brooke does her job as MO rep of service way up in the sticks. So Tacky as rep 85 this fall will give us Adirondack camping kicks. Natalie as New Paltz keeps that chapter in the section mix. And Gabe Yoder's reps Binghamton's with his latest bag of tricks. So there you have the crew happy to serve under Spree. Section 88 does its part for our land of the free. Thank you.
Judges, I do believe that that is the last roll call to be evaluated. Judges?
Yes, hi.
We're not listening as usual. We're
I
trying
noticed that.
Are we supposed to? What's up, babe? Sure, come here. Okay, so save our So when Perry came to us, so when Perry came to us about a year ago, we took on sectionals. Trish was amazing. She chaired the sectionals and along with John. And every Wednesday we'd meet in her room for hours and hours and hours. And we would call up random chapters asking for their tax-exempt numbers, you know. And when she went on spring break to Florida, we stole her keys, and she came back, and there was glassware and T-shirts, and she couldn't walk in her room. So we want to thank you immensely, and we love you so much. And so that's our roll call. I think it's still floating around. Everybody's been looking. Yeah.
Is there like a napkin chain?
It's been sitting here all afternoon.
Okay, take your pictures and please
Untie.
do the staff of the hotel favor, please disconnect the chain. I see some guys. Remember, you break it, you buy it.
All the roll calls were very special. And Cashman is paying for my counseling. Okay. Are in third place, wait, you're gonna,
Okay.
in third place, you do that.
Epsilon Gamma, Alfred.
Thank God you did not take off your pants award to Epsilon Zeta.
First place goes to Pi, Syracuse.
But she was especially excited about this roll call. She thought it was very creative in the way they did the songs back and forth. But she refused to say that, so she's giving you work. That's all.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.